something in it.
You hear that?
Tonight, we look at 6 disturbing camping encounters caught on camera. Real moments, real danger. Don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying footage like this. Let's begin. On December 4th, 2023, in the quiet woods of the United States, the creator behind the channel, Lil Red Heidi Hood, returned with a new entry for her wolf pack. Known for outdoor vlogs, DIY projects, and personal lifestyle moments, this video brought viewers into the heart of her late-season hunting experience. It was supposed to be just another sit in a blind, a chance to reflect during a busy holiday season. But what unfolded next was anything but ordinary.
Which I used to be able to sit like all-day sits, and I don't know, there's just too much stuff going on, but I feel like a solid 5-hour sit is going to be pretty good. Definitely up my chances. It's a little warmer today, finally. It's like 50 degrees. It's been freezing lately, but I'm gonna head over to a different spot where I've got a blind set up this blind for my dad last year. This blind was really hard to hunt out of because I didn't know which side something may be coming from, and it was just so thick all around me that I really only had like a few windows, I guess you could call it shooting lanes, out each blind window.
She began her day with plans for a solid 5-hour sit in the blind, a structure her father had built the previous year, perched on a ridge, surrounded by thick brush with only narrow shooting lanes. The weather had finally warmed to about 50 degrees, a rare break from the freezing days before. Then, movement caught her eye. Far in the distance, a black bear appeared. Sniffing and weaving its way closer. Step by step, it advanced through the trees, drawn by something unseen. Her heart pounded as the animal came directly toward her blind. Within moments, it was at the open window, so close its nose nearly touched her face.
Oh my gosh. You guys, that's insane. That thing was literally like nose to nose with me, and I freaked out and I said boo. Oh my gosh, that was so crazy. I saw him running from like so far away, and he came literally straight to me, and my blind window is like all the way down, and he literally came and like looked in the window like at my face, and he was like making me this. I don't know what he was gonna do. I was so scared. I should have probably waited and just seen like what he was gonna do, but man, that was crazy. It's like the only thing I've seen so far except a million squirrels, but whew, that was crazy. Whoa. Also, I forgot to mention, I threw out that apple. After I ate it, I threw it out the blind, and that's probably what he smelled. I don't know. Yeah, there's probably about 45 minutes until dark, so we'll see if we see anything else.
In panic, she blurted out, "Boo!" The bear jolted back, then bolted into the woods, crashing through the undergrowth. Shaken, she realized it may have been the apple core she had tossed outside that lured the animal in. The moment left her stunned, seconds away from a direct confrontation with a black bear. As daylight waned, the forest returned to stillness. Aside from countless squirrels, the only other encounter that day was a small buck she managed to take at last light. It wasn't the biggest, but it marked the end of a day already unforgettable, defined by the chilling nearness of a predator. The bear encounter raises unsettling questions. Was it truly drawn by the apple's scent, or was curiosity enough to bring it within inches of her face? And what if she hadn't spoken up at the right moment? Would the outcome have been the same? Even seasoned hunters rarely experience a predator closing in that directly. Viewer comments reflect the gravity of the moment. One wrote, "The most successful 5-hour sit that you will never forget for the rest of your life. Keep doing the thing." Another added, "I also thank the animal whenever I take one." These reactions highlight both the danger she faced and the respect tied to her harvest. It's a story that blends survival, gratitude, and sheer unpredictability. A black bear nearly inches away, a late-season buck harvested, and one creator's voice carrying it all to her community. But it leaves us wondering, in the silence of the woods, how often do wild eyes approach unseen? Closer than we ever realize. Hold on a sec. If you're enjoying this so far, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Let's continue. Ian, the creator behind the channel Ian on YouTube, is known for sharing his outdoor experiences rooted in simplicity and practicality. In this video, he chose what seemed like an easy and familiar plan: spending a quiet night camping inside his car. It was supposed to be safe, uneventful, and routine, but as the hours passed, the night took an unexpected turn. After a long day, Ian drove to one of his usual camping spots, tucked between local businesses and quiet side streets. By day, the place seemed ordinary and unremarkable. By night, it offered the comfort of routine.
Starting to come together here. This is my go-to spot when I just need a quick camp for the night. I think everybody who sleeps in cars and sleeps in vans has these go-to spots. This spot right here, you guys will recognize by McDonald's and Vons if you're a longtime follower of the channel. This is my go-to spot. So we are all hunkered down here. I'm gonna go to the back and check out this sandwich. All right.
A spot where he had camped without problems before. He parked, organized his gear, and closed out the evening with a simple meal. Inside the car, the warmth and order of his setup gave a sense of normalcy. Outside, rain began to fall, first as a light drizzle, then as steady tapping against the windshield. At first, the night felt uneventful, but comfort was short-lived.
But without further ado, man, I guess that's it for today's video. Sorry guys, it wasn't an absolute banger or anything, but I'm gonna hunker down. Big ups to Steve Wallace, the best YouTuber of all time, and I'm going to watch some sort of Star Wars. I don't know what, I think I've watched all the Star Wars, but yeah, I'm gonna watch something Star Wars, and I will see you guys in the morning. Peace. Guys, that was so weird. That dude right there went right in front of me, and I guess he might have seen the light from the GoPro, but he shined his lights in here. That was so weird, man. Why would you do that? What an awkward thing, and now he's just chilling there. All right, now I'm getting kind of sketched out. I jinxed myself.
A vehicle approached, and its driver stopped just in front of Ian's car. For a brief moment, the headlights shined directly inside, as if the driver had noticed something unusual. The encounter lasted only seconds, yet it was deeply unsettling. For someone camping discreetly, being noticed by a stranger can shift the entire atmosphere. Ian tried to dismiss it and focus on testing his small heater. Warm air quickly filled the vehicle, condensation streaming down the windows while the rainfall intensified outside. For a time, calm returned. But later in the night, sharp noises cut through the rain. They were sudden, abrupt, and close enough to shake him awake. What the heck?
Guys, what was that? No. We gotta get out of here. We gotta go. Something ain't right. I was asleep. I don't know what's going on. No! What the? No, dude. We gotta get out of here, man.
Struggling to process what he had heard, Ian realized the sounds came from the same truck that had shined its lights earlier. His comfort dissolved into urgency. Heart racing, he made the choice no camper wants to make: to leave immediately. Packing hastily, every sound outside seemed to confirm the presence of someone or something nearby. Driving away brought instant relief, but also the heavy realization of what had just unfolded. A night meant to be simple had twisted into a chilling reminder of vulnerability. Was the driver simply curious, or was there another motive behind returning later that night? The connection between the headlights earlier and the sudden noises afterward leaves unsettling questions. It's possible Ian was just in the wrong place at the wrong time, but the timing makes the situation far more suspicious. What do you think happened that night? Was it coincidence, or did someone intentionally target his presence there? Let us know your thoughts below, and remember, sometimes even the most familiar places can hide the darkest surprises. The call of the wild often promises peace and solitude, but the deeper you venture, the more you realize you're never truly alone. What begins as a simple camping trip can spiral into something far more unsettling. This is the story of Natasha, the creator of Quest Out West. Living in her Dodge Grand Caravan with 3 cats, she documents life on the road and encourages her audience to step outside their comfort zones. But on one particular evening, her search for a remote campsite would push her own limits to the breaking point. The journey began in Squamish, where Natasha followed her GPS down a narrow service road in hopes of finding a quiet place to stay. The excitement of exploring quickly faded as the road grew rougher and more dangerous.
I'm starting to get a little nervous because we seem to be driving out a lot further than I intended. This is a pretty narrow road, quite bumpy, and I'm not sure what this...
With a steep drop inches from her tires and no room to turn back. She eventually reached a fork. One route led toward a campground, the other warned of a deactivated road.
I can't turn around, and that is a steep cliff. I don't know if you guys can really see this.
When another vehicle continued past the warning, Natasha made the same choice, a decision she instantly regretted. As she attempted the incline, her van's tires slipped backward toward the ledge, forcing her to stop before disaster struck.
Oh my god, use extreme caution. Oh my god, okay, no, I don't know, man. Okay, and the car is like literally slipping backwards.
Pulling off at a lookout, the breathtaking view couldn't mask the danger. Below the cliff lay the wreckage of a vehicle that hadn't been as fortunate, a haunting reminder of the risks of the road.
That is stunning, but at the same time, I'm concerned that in the middle of the night that we're gonna accidentally roll down the hill or something. Or maybe even just get hit by somebody else coming down this road. Would not be good. Is that a crashed plane? I don't think it's a plane, but it might be a crashed RV. Somebody that actually did go off this edge. So it's It's an authentic fear.
Any thought of lingering was shaken further when strange noises echoed from the woods. Sounds eerily reminiscent of something unnatural.
Do you hear that? Do you hear that? Is that supposed to be a bird?
Each item she unpacked from her van only heightened her vulnerability, knowing it would slow any chance of escape.
As I'm doing this, I realize how I'm becoming increasingly more vulnerable as I take stuff out of the van. It's not like I could just slam the door shut and take off, because I gotta put all this stuff back in the van. And then I'm hearing this weird-ass sound from the woods.
As night fell, fear deepened. Every rustle in the trees, every crack of a twig, carried the weight of being watched.
It started to get dark pretty fast, so I scrambled to finish my food and then shove everything back in the van. Now it's getting pretty dark, and I really just want to get out of here. I don't want to sleep here for the night. I'm just too creeped out. Every single little noise that I heard, I was like, oh my god, what is that? Is that a bear? I just can't.
Overwhelmed, she quickly packed her things and decided to leave. Yet the ordeal was not over. On the dark highway, a truck appeared behind her, riding close with blinding high beams. The aggressive tailgating escalated until the driver nearly forced her off the road. The escape from one danger in the forest had turned into a confrontation with another threat on the asphalt.
A truck starts driving behind me, really right up on my butt, like tailgating me, and with his high beams on or whatever, and he's doing it on purpose. And I'm going like 85 in a 90. It's not like I'm going too slow. I'm just going too slow for him. And I saw a turnoff for a lookout, but he was right on my ass. I couldn't even slow down, so he almost ran me off the road, and there was nothing else I could do.
Eventually, Natasha found safety in the familiar surroundings of a Walmart parking lot, ending the night shaken but unharmed. The sounds in the woods remain a mystery, perhaps an animal or something less explainable. But the true danger came from another human being on that empty highway. Natasha's experience highlights how unpredictable isolation can be. The wilderness tests courage, yet sometimes the most frightening encounters come from those who cross our path. Would you have stayed at the Cliffside camp, or left the moment the strange sounds began? And when faced with a menacing driver, what would you have done differently? Share your thoughts, because on the open road, the line between freedom and fear can vanish in an instant. On August 13, 2023, Joseph, the creator behind the YouTube channel 50/50 Fishing, made a decision to step away from his usual fishing-focused adventures. Instead of staying strictly by the water, he planned a camping trip. It was meant to be simple: a quiet night under the stars, a chance to enjoy the outdoors, and maybe a little fishing along the way. But what was supposed to be peaceful soon became one of the most unsettling nights of his life. As night settled in, Joseph drifted off to sleep. But the silence was suddenly broken by a deep, guttural sound just outside his tent.
Weird noise. What the hell is it? There's something else here. Yeah, that sounds like a bear, like for real. Oh shit! I think it stopped, man. It like pushed my whole tent in right here. About to go look. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I thought I heard it kind of run away. What the fuck? I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna sleep now.
It wasn't the rustle of leaves or a distant snap of branches. It was the unmistakable growl of a bear. The heavy rumble moved around his campsite, circling closer. Each pass grew louder, more aggressive, reminding him that only a thin wall of fabric separated him from a powerful predator. The weight of its presence pressed against the quiet of the forest, and every breath became harder to control. In desperation, Joseph reached for his firearm and aimed toward the sound, prepared for the worst. For what felt like an eternity, he waited, his hand trembling, his chest tight, as the growls continued outside. Then, just as suddenly, the presence faded. The bear moved on, swallowed by the woods, leaving only the pounding of his heart behind. When dawn finally broke, the decision was clear. Joseph wasted no time packing his gear and leaving the campsite behind. What began as a straightforward camping trip had turned into a chilling reminder of how small and vulnerable humans can be in the wilderness. Was the bear simply passing through, or had Joseph's presence drawn it closer in search of food? While the growls alone were enough to terrify, the situation underscores how unpredictable encounters with wildlife can be, and how quickly the illusion of safety can vanish in the wild. If you were in Joseph's place, would you have stayed until daylight or fled in the middle of the night? And do you think the bear left on its own, or was it watching from deeper in the trees? Share your thoughts below, because sometimes what you don't see in the woods is even more terrifying than what you do. Theo, the creator behind the channel, My Name is Theo, shares his travels across the country with his companion Lars. His content is an unfiltered look at life on the road, the triumphs, the setbacks, and the in-between moments. But during one leg of his cross-country journey, Theo would discover that the silence of the wilderness can feel far more threatening than the noise of any city. After a long day of driving, Theo searched for a place to rest and chose a dispersed camping site marked within the vast Talladega National Forest in Alabama.
We found this spot, Talladega National Forest. From what I've read, it seems like it's got dispersed camping. It's like 50 minutes away, and it's close to where I'm going, so it's not out of the way. Because from right here where I am right now to where I'm going tomorrow, it's like, wait, hold on, I think it might actually get me closer. Okay. I just realized that
It looked like a perfect stop, remote, quiet, and closer to his next day's destination. But as he arrived, the reality was far from inviting.
Super sketchy. This is the campsite, apparently, and I can just park, I guess, anywhere. I don't see anyone here. This is like super duper sketchy. Like, if I saw other cars, I'd be like, okay.
The campsite was deserted, swallowed in an oppressive darkness that his headlights barely touched. What was supposed to be a rustic, peaceful spot instead felt abandoned and unsettling. Theo had traveled extensively, even on conservation cruises, but he was used to being with others. Alone in the forest, the silence was overwhelming. To make matters worse, he realized his headlamp was useless without the right batteries.
And I'm gonna have to crack the windows because it is hot. I was gonna put the tailgate tent up, but it's just so dark I can't even see. I don't have batteries for my headlamp. All I have is AA. I thought I was good with just the AA. Nope, needed AAA for the headlamp. So yeah, that was a mistake there. So I can't really put the awning thing up, the tailgate awning that I have, because
with only his phone's flashlight, he couldn't properly set up his tailgate tent. Forced to remain inside his vehicle, he cracked the windows to fight the heat, but that left him exposed to mosquitoes and to whatever else might be nearby. His van, meant to be a refuge, now felt like a cage. Every sound from the woods pressed against his nerves, each rustle a reminder of how vulnerable he was. He tried to distract himself with a movie on his laptop, but the feeling of being watched never went away. Were the faint voices he thought he heard other campers, or something else entirely? The night eventually passed without incident, but the psychological toll remained. The darkness, the silence, and the weight of isolation carved a memory that would follow him long after he left the forest. For Theo, it was a stark reminder that sometimes the greatest threat isn't a creature in the woods, but the crushing realization of your own vulnerability. What made this night so terrifying wasn't a direct confrontation, but the absence of control. Without light, without proper setup, Theo was left with nothing but uncertainty. And in the wilderness, uncertainty itself becomes a predator. Have you ever felt that kind of fear in complete darkness, where your own thoughts become the loudest threat? Do you think Theo's unease came only from isolation, or could there have been someone, or something, just beyond the reach of his headlights? Venturing into the woods alone at night can be terrifying, but what happens when you encounter something, or someone, you were never meant to find? This was the case for Jasko, a paranormal investigator who runs the channel Jasko. Accompanied by his friend Chris, he seeks out notoriously haunted locations, documenting their activity on camera. But one particular forest, tied to the brutal acts of a serial killer, would put them face to face with a force that was far more threatening than they expected. Their night began by setting up camp deep inside what is known as the serial killer's forest.
This is our campsite for tonight, inside of this forest. Now, this is no ordinary forest, guys. This is a serial killer's forest.
The site carries a gruesome history: body parts that were never recovered, organized crime using nearby waters to dispose of victims, and a doctor accused of horrific experiments on his patients.
Body parts scattered all throughout this forest that have never been found to this day. Now, apart from that, there are still so many more terrifying stories attached to this place. So many dark things have happened here, from the mafia dumping bodies into a body of water nearby, to a doctor doing twisted methods of medicine and surgeries and practices upon its patients. And
Reports from visitors describe shadowy figures, screams, and whispers. Their first stop was the infamous lake. There, they stumbled upon what looked like a recently abandoned campsite.
Whoa, a jacket?
Bro.
What?
Truck prints right here. No lie, those are truck tire prints.
Oh, dude, they were parked right here. You could see where they backed in and left.
Okay.
Personal belongings left behind, tire tracks still visible. It raised an immediate sense of unease. When they began their spirit box session, disturbing messages came through, with words like homicide and I have killed. Nearby, they discovered a strange effigy hanging from a tree and what appeared to be a trap, further suggesting that whoever had been there was engaged in something disturbing.
Bro, dude, there's a croc out here. Cursed. The cursed croc.
Oh, good.
But no, bro, what if this thing is cursed? What is this?
It looks cursed from a distance.
That's so freaky.
Yeah, no.
Hello? Hold on. Wait, Chris, we're hearing the truck. We just heard a scream. Oh, shit! Chris, give me the gun. That's a gunshot. That's a gun.
Are you good?
Yeah, go.
Then, the silence shattered. A scream erupted from the trees, followed by the sound of a gunshot. Fearing for their lives, they ran back to their truck and fled.
Themselves out. Heavy, suffocating dread if you stand too close too long. Dreams of a pale woman weeping, clutching a cross to her chest. I have never opened this box, and I strongly advise against tampering with the wax seals or removing the talisman. Whatever is attached to this object is active and it does not want to be disturbed. Purchase at your own risk. So that's warning number 1. Warning number 2, do not... No.
This isn't good.
No, this is not good at all. This is really bad. Bro, this is as bad of an omen as I've ever seen.
Back at camp, they introduced an item Jasko had purchased online, a haunted Dybbuk box. The description warned it contained the spirit of a tormented mystic named Mela and should never be opened or burned. As if in response, rain began to fall despite a clear forecast. Ignoring the warnings, Jasko opened the box. It seemed empty, until a scream tore through the night.
The tragic incident? There's nothing inside.
Literally empty box. Well, I mean, someone was living in there, but...
Well...
She's free now.
Okay, well... What the f...
Dude.
No way! Chris...
What did you do?
I didn't do anything!
You opened the box.
Okay, you're telling me that scream was from the box?
The spirit box confirmed the name Mela, reinforcing the chilling idea that something had been released. Their investigation then led to the ruins of Dr. Steuben's former house.
We'll be here soon, casket. How the hell do we get to this house now? Because can't even see it from the road at the moment.
He murdered them.
No. Chris, can you hold this for a sec? Oh my God, what is going on right now? We're at the doctor's house. I have a bachelor's degree in computer science, and here I am in the forest.
I mean, to be fair, that shows you.
It did tell me to open it, right?
Yeah.
Hey, keep saying leave. I don't...
Among the rubble, they found a vintage doll and photographs of children, possible remnants tied to the location's dark past. Disturbing growls echoed from the darkness, and glowing eyes appeared in the trees, forcing them to retreat. Returning to camp, they discovered the box was missing. It reappeared in their fire pit, inexplicably burning, an act specifically warned against in the object's instructions.
Oh shit! No. That's not it.
Are you sure?
Here, can you hold this for a second?
Are you serious right now?
I don't think that's it.
Are you positive?
Leave yourself.
I think we do need to save ourselves. I don't know if I want to stay here anymore. I don't like that. That makes me very uncomfortable. We don't need any more bad luck in our lives.
The spirit box delivered ominous responses, making it clear they were being stalked. That night, footsteps crunched on the gravel around their tent, circling for minutes. Something, or someone, was watching them. For their final stop,
There's something walking around our campsite, our tent right now. I can hear footsteps on the gravel. It looks like somebody's walking. You can hear like walking on the gravel. I don't know what it is or who it is.
they drove to a cemetery at 3 a.m. Almost immediately, activity escalated. When they asked for a response, a loud clap answered from the darkness.
If I roll my window down, you can actually see there's a light in the distance.
Yo,
What the fuck? What the
bro?
Chris, that was like right here. That
I know,
was.
it's right here. What the fuck was that? What was that?
What was that, Chris?
What was that? What?
What the hell was that?
Someone does not want us here right now.
No.
Henry does not want us here
I'm not going in there. I'm not going in there. That didn't sound human.
at all.
I was trying to be respectful, not going in there with equipment and stuff. Fuck
I
that.
assume the camera would have been too much for them.
Let's get the hell out of here. Guys, something isn't right here.
Jasko entered alone, only to be driven back by a guttural growl that did not sound human. As they fled, a whistle followed them through the night, a chilling farewell. This investigation was disturbing not just for one event, but for the sheer consistency and intelligence of the activity. From screams and gunshots at the lake, to the missing box, to footsteps circling their tent, the responses escalated with each action. The presence of a white truck and the abandoned campsite suggest human danger may have been just as real as the paranormal. Were Jasko and Chris truly being hunted by spirits tied to the forest's violent past? Or was someone using the legends to mask something far more human? And if you found yourself in a place like this, would you keep investigating? Or get out while you still could? That's all for tonight's video. Which encounter gave you chills? Let us know in the comments below. Got your own experience? We want to hear it. And whatever you do, don't miss what's coming next.